Gold spokes on low riders, big chains on big ballers. I'm stacking chips, sitting on the corner. That's how it was for me and my partners. I'm getting game from my big brother. If we out of brew, he said send them runners. I'm rolling up, you can smell me coming. When I keep a cup, I'm always pouring something. I fuck with
Yo, what's poppin'? It's CP. Back at y'all again, look, with another one. I know it's been a little minute, man. I got a whole lot going on, so I've been trying to put the pieces together so that way we can do this fluently and we ain't got to have these intermissions. So, y'all bear with me as we build, because we build it. You feel what I'm saying? It's a platform being built. So, you know, we building and I'm putting pieces together, trying to make sure everything is right. There's gonna be some scene changes, different little things like that. So right now I'm trying to get my little studio set up. You feel me? So I'm tapping in anyways. I'm still finna be dropping, still finna be at you, still finna be critiquing. I got another page that I've been putting together to Twisted Intellect, man. We dropping a whole new load of content over there. So when y'all get the chance, man, y'all go ahead and subscribe to that YouTube channel. That's my new YouTube page, man. Twisted Intellect. I will be dropping the YouTube down in the bottom, man. Yeah, so listen. It's the election time. I'm not gonna ask y'all who y'all voting for. I'm not gonna ask y'all who y'all voting for because that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple different little questions. You know, this subject that we finna speak on is very sensitive, I see, because it's a split and it splits the world. And in the process of splitting the world up, it kind of exposes the right hand and the left hand. You feel what I'm saying? So now, you know, you got close loved ones and friends and you know, relatives that, you know, now you know their views. You feel what I'm saying? As opposed to not knowing them. Now you know their views and where they stand based off of the different candidates they chose. Y'all know Donald Trump won this thing, man. So my first question is how y'all feel about it. You know, how y'all feel about it, whether your candidate won or whether your candidate didn't win. How do y'all feel about it? Let me know down in the comments. This clip that I'm finna show y'all, man, it's a very sensitive subject for me. You feel what I'm saying? And it's one that I like to expose. Also, even before this election, I have a very strong view on it. I'm a girl dad, so I'm gonna come, you know, from a whole bunch of different angles when it comes to this, and me giving my perspective to certain reactions that I give. You know what I mean, on certain titles. So. With this situation, man, it's a very touchy subject because when it comes to the kids, that's really where I want to focus my attention mostly. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of adults are stuck in their ways, set in their ways, and because of the society that we live in, it'd be hard to tell somebody that it's bad to do it this way and we should do it this way when it looked good for them to do it this way, and it's a little bit more appealing to do it this way instead of this way. So I don't want to come on my channel and give that perspective when we doing that. So I don't want to pinpoint and say the right or the left is wrong. You feel what I mean? But when it comes to this specific title, when dealing with the children, especially the young girls, I think we need to take notice and shine a little bit more light on this. Because this is a subject that's sensitive and should be paid attention to a little bit more. You know, when it comes to the gender roles of our families, even with our children, we have to be mindful of the knowledge and education that we are putting out there because young minds will take that and run with it and do whatever they will with whatever information they get. So we got to be mindful of the information that we are putting out there. Because that we don't want to taint the young minds. You know what I mean? So without getting too much into my own first, what what I want to do is I want to show y'all this clip, and then I'll jump back into it. How about that? Let's do that.
Parents from being forced to allow their minor child to assume a gender which is new and an identity without the parent's consent. The identity will not be new, and it will not be without parental consent. No serious country should be telling its children that they were born with the wrong gender, a concept that was never heard of in all of human history. Nobody's ever heard of this, what's happening today. It was all when the radical left invented it just a few years ago. Under my leadership, this madness will end. Thank you very much. Courses at colleges and universities have been exploding, and I mean absolutely exploding, while academics have been obsessed with indoctrinating America's youth. The time has come to reclaim our once great educational institutions from the radical left, and we will do that. Our secret weapon will be the college accreditation system. It's called accreditation for a reason. The accreditors are supposed to ensure that schools are not ripping off students and taxpayers, but they have failed totally. When I return to the White House, I will fire the radical left accreditors that have allowed our colleges to become dominated by Marxist maniacs and lunatics. We will then accept applications for new accreditors who will impose real standards on colleges once again and once and for all. These standards will include defending the American tradition and Western civilization, protecting free speech, eliminating wasteful administrative positions that drive up costs incredibly, removing all Marxist diversity, equity, and inclusion bureaucrats, offering options for accelerated and low-cost degrees, providing meaningful job placement and career services, and implementing college entrance and exit exams to prove that students are actually learning and getting their money's worth. Furthermore, I will direct the Department of Justice to pursue federal civil rights cases against schools that continue to engage in racial discrimination and schools that persist in explicit, unlawful discrimination under the guise of equity will not only have their endowments taxed, but through budget reconciliation, I will advance a measure to have them fined up to the entire amount of their endowment. A portion of the seized funds will then be used as restitution for victims of these illegal and unjust policies, policies that hurt our country so badly. Colleges have gotten hundreds of billions of dollars from hardworking taxpayers, and now we are going to get this anti-American insanity out of our institutions once and for all. We are going to have real education in America. Here's my plan to stop the chemical, physical, and emotional mutilation of our youth. On day one, I will revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care. Ridiculous. A process that includes giving kids puberty blockers, mutating their physical appearance, and ultimately performing surgery on minor children. Can you believe this? I will sign a new executive order instructing every federal agency to cease all programs that promote the concept of sex and gender transition at any age. I will then ask Congress to permanently stop federal taxpayer dollars from being used to promote or pay for these procedures and pass a law prohibiting child sexual mutilation in all 50 states. It'll go very quickly. I will declare that any hospital or healthcare provider that participates in the chemical or physical mutilation of minor youth will no longer meet federal health and safety standards for Medicaid and Medicare and will be terminated from the program immediately. Furthermore, I will support the creation of a private right of action for victims to sue doctors who have unforgivably performed these procedures on minor children. The Department of Justice will investigate Big Pharma and the big hospital networks to determine whether they have deliberately covered up horrific long-term side effects of sex transitions in order to get rich at the expense of vulnerable patients, in this case, very vulnerable. We will also investigate whether Big Pharma or others have illegally marketed hormones and puberty blockers which are in no way licensed or approved for this use. My Department of Education will inform states and school districts that if any teacher or school official suggests to a child that they could be trapped in the wrong body, they will be faced with severe consequences, including potential civil rights violations for sex discrimination and the elimination of federal funding. As part of our new credentialing body for teachers, we will promote positive education about the nuclear family, the roles of mothers and fathers, and celebrating rather than erasing the things that make men and women different and unique. I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. The bill will also make clear that Title IX prohibits men from participating in women's sports, and we will protect the rights of parents from being forced to allow.
I'm going to give y'all a moment to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button because this is a sensitive subject. I told y'all, but it's one we got to do that. Like I said, we tackle everything. You feel what I'm saying? From politics, celebrity gossip, personal gossip news that you can use, personal relationships, men, women, whatever. We tackle everything. And this is a subject that we're going to tackle. It's a very sensitive one, but we're going to tackle it. Because I think, again, we all need to come to one perspective on this matter. This shouldn't be a separation. So, this is my second question. How do y'all feel about transgender or transitioning as a minor? Let me know down in the comments how y'all feel about that, man. How do you feel about teachers educating your children on things that you don't even educate them on? Let me know down in the comments how y'all feel about that. You know, how do you feel about your young child coming to you about transitioning from something you raised them and taught them that they was from birth, but then they want to switch that up? How do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about the material and the education material that's going around that's teaching your children how to transition from this to that? How do y'all feel about that? Let me know for real in the comments. We're not going to sugarcoat it on my platform. And like I said, I'm going to always give you my honest perspective and my views on things. When I'm giving you my reaction, I don't give a damn about none of y'all. It's me. It's how I'm doing it. You feel me? I don't care about your views. I don't care about your opinions. I don't care about none of that when it's come to mine. I value your opinions, absolutely, because we are all entitled to one. So I don't want to say your opinion is wrong and mine is right. No, I value all of them. So we're going to get down through all of them. And I want to hear them in the comments, man. I want to know how y'all feel about it. You feel what I'm saying? As we can see the topic. And this is one that I feel like got brushed over in the election. It's one that I feel like got overlooked. It didn't get really as noticed or spoke about as much as possible because everything else outshadowed it. So this is one that I feel like we should tackle because I don't foresee a future. You understand me? I don't foresee a future moving in the direction that we're moving in. Me personally. You know what I mean? When we talk about gender roles and we talk about transitioning and we talk about I don't want to say being stuck in the wrong body because that's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Being stuck in the wrong body is crazy. But I do want to say whatever it is that's felt up there, I can't identify. So it's gonna be hard for me to even speak for the next. But for me, I'm gonna say it's crazy. I just don't feel personally that it's been, handled the right way. I feel like when it comes to that community, it's always a sensitive subject, but I don't give a damn about it, period. I wasn't raised in the world. My generation, we didn't have it like that. It wasn't displayed, largely on the scale that is displayed in. So my opinion is, you feel me, without it, I liked it better. I think, I'm not saying it is good or bad or right or wrong, nothing, because that's between you and your God. that ain't got nothing to do with me and my God and my world. So whatever you do in the privacy of your home should be kept in the privacy of your home or bedroom. You feel what I'm saying? I grew up in the 90s. I was born in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s. I didn't see it the way we see it today. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know any kid that grew up with me that felt they was born something other than what they are. At least they never displayed that to us when we was growing up. So, in a world where I see it, in a world where I've actually physically been faced with it myself as a parent, you feel what I'm saying? I wasn't raised like that. You know what I mean? I wasn't raised like that. So for me to see it, it's a difference than what I was raised to be the norm. I wasn't raised where men were openly wanting to be women. I wasn't raised in a world where that was accepted as it is in this world. In this generation, it's more accepted, and you are ridiculed for going against what's accepted. So, me personally, I'm a little older in the generation, and I'm, like they said, stuck in my ways. I don't believe that should be publicized. I don't believe that it should be exploited. I don't believe that it should be given the light that it's given. You know what I mean? I don't believe that we should be seeing it in the public. There shouldn't be commercials promoting same-sex relations. There shouldn't be ads in our social media platforms promoting same-sex intimacy. There shouldn't be these things that are openly visible and accessible for our children to take and run away with. Those things are beyond their time or even beyond their brain's conception to say, I don't feel like I am in the right body. So when we expose our children to certain things, we actually open their minds to things that they shouldn't be opened up to because their brains aren't capable of receiving and dissecting the information like it's supposed to. So when it comes to the LGBT community, I feel like they should actually go back where it was safer for them. As far as them being as open, they opened their personal lives up to ridicule and criticism. That's one thing that it shouldn't be publicized in the media for the mass to see. Whatever you engage in, because when you say in my personal opinion, when you say you're a homosexual, that's actually a sexual orientation. That doesn't define a person. That doesn't define a race of people or a creed. It doesn't say, oh, I'm African American, or I'm homosexual, or I'm straight. Like those type of things shouldn't be a topic of discussion, especially when it's involved our children. I don't believe a child has the right to make those decisions or even speak about those decisions because they shouldn't have the knowledge of that. So I think me personally, my outlook on it is, man, I'm not against whatever somebody else want to do in their personal time. I just think that when you invade my personal space and education, I believe that becomes my problem and you're interjecting your situation into what I got going on. So for me, I just believe like that, man. We shouldn't have it the way we have it. And I believe Donald Trump is doing the right thing when we push forward in the movement to eradicate that idea. So, I mean, that's just me personally. You know what I mean? Y'all all got your own opinions, and you are entitled to them and welcome to them, and we welcome your opinions on this platform. Because that's what we do. We don't give a damn about the next. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, we value your opinion, but that's not going to make or break my life. I'm not going to take what y'all say in the comments and let that affect my life because it's your life that you got to live. Like, I'm going to live mine, you're going to live yours. But I feel like we all should come to a common ground that our children are off limits. Like, we need to gain back control over our children instead of the government or our children telling us how they're going to conduct themselves. I was raised with discipline, and then a lot of us say that we stand for God, but God said if you spoil the rod, you spare your child. That doesn't necessarily mean you got to be beating your child. That just means you spare the discipline. And when we say discipline, that doesn't necessarily mean harming your children. That means giving them the knowledge to know right from wrong. this, man. We need to put a stop to this. This is harming our economy. Like I said in one of my other videos, man, if the whole world was LGBTQ, how would there be babies? There would be no future of anything, of anybody, of any creed, race, or ethnic background. So listen, this was a quick video for me to come in. Just let y'all know I'm still here, still doing my thing, man. It's Twizzle. Let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments. I gave you what I feel about it, and it is what it is. You don't like my views, catch me in traffic. Let's get with it. It's Twizzy, Collar Poppins finest, the boss head honcho. I love y'all. See y'all soon.